There we go. Microphone is correctly registering. Silly OBS making me reset that every time. So hello, friends and adventurers, and anyone else joining in. Welcome to another episode of Salliekat Live Streams Avernum. I vaguely remember what I was doing last time. It's been a little while since I've recorded this, and quite an interesting couple of weeks. We've got a new cat that we're trying to introduce to my household. Also, I just wanted to take a moment here to admire some of my stats. Gith is up to 157 health, which is pretty darn good. But there is a reason why I am in this particular spot of the world, down here in the Great Cave. And that is because now that I have the Orb of Thralmy, I can come and investigate this little hut. This island is covered with a thick miasma of sulphurous fog. It makes your head ache and your eyes water. You start to feel ill. In the middle of the island, you find a huge nest made of mounds of rubble. Most of the rubble was pulled from the crumbling walls of a ruined building. The structure has been unoccupied for some time. Makes me wonder if the structure has been here and then the river changed course to flow around it, or if somebody made a bridge over here at one point. Questions lost to the mysteries of time. Inside the nest, you find treasure mixed in with the gravel. There are many coins and a few items. As you dig, some of the rubble starts to shift slightly. Before you can take anything, the inhabitants of the nest emerge to confront you. Or not? I find a variety of coins and shredded armor, all from the surface world, all old. There's also a shiny metal shield. Ah, there's the lizards. Oh, maybe they can't do anything to me because I'm still technically flying. 3 basilisks and an basilisk. Hello, Dr. Hesting. Sort of a teen cat, by my estimation. He's around 6 to 8 months old, and Garnet is nearly 10 years old. So there's a bit of an adjustment. She is growing to tolerate him being in the same room, but still gets a little hissy if he gets up in her face. Also, if you hear meowing in the background, I believe that is the new cat himself. His name is Theo. Ooh, boy, glad that I've got my magic resistances up, apparently. Okay, McGrath, what do I want to have you doing here? Fire blasting all the enemies? Don't mind if I do. Fire blasting all the enemies again? Nice. Okay, just the basilisk left. And that fight is much easier than it would have been several levels ago. So Theo, what are you doing and where are you going? He's just a little guy, so he's still in the more chaotic phase of life. Anyway, I got a shield. It is a blessed small shield, apparently. Hooray. McGrath's got a blessed buckler. And Esme has a steel small shield. Yeah, the The Blessed Buckler isn't quite as good even as the Steel Small Shield. I feel like this is a slight downgrade from the previous game, because in Exile 1 there's a really good halberd right here. Anyway, more flight. Now then... Well, instead of heading back up north, I think what I shall do is come back to the Fort Remote area. We've already dealt with the demons here. But I know that I'm going to be hanging out in giant territory for a little while, so I want to see if I can find Smite. Though that also reminds me, where was... I think the woman who was here before is in Blosk? Possibly Darman, possibly Almeria, but I'm pretty sure it's Blosk. Hi, Theo. Yeah, there she is. Okay, so talking to Sabrina, and Dilbert, who's hanging out in Fort Saffron, told me about you and how you know a Drake. She snorts. Dilbert's a fool. He probably said it was my fault. Well, I'm telling you, the Chasm Drake was just tougher than he thought. And we could have made it out still. But the Drake has this pike. It had Smite written on the handle. Dilbert took it, and the thing chased us through the tunnels until he dropped it. Bloody mess. It was the most beautiful pike I've ever seen. It's still in the lair of the Gap Drake, west of Fort Remote. If you go to fetch it, you're braver than me. And that's where you learn about Smite, if you did not know about it already. Looking at the map here, I do see a few dead ends. Also, I vaguely remember something... Aha! This was a secret that is in Exile 1, and I didn't actually find it until just a few years ago, even in that game. There's an abandoned outpost at the end of this secluded passage. It's been empty of human occupants for some years. Giant spiders have taken over in the absence of humans. Huge walls of web shroud the structure. This is some sort of Aranea shrine. The webs have many elaborate lines of runes woven into them. Fortunately, at this point, none of the Aranea are around. You look at the runes carefully and realize you might be able to decipher them. Alas, after looking at them for a few minutes, you are interrupted by giant spiders and elder Araneas. Why bother with shielding and other buffing spells when I can just nuke everything in the first couple of turns? You read the runes. Most of the things they describe are utterly alien to you. The spells for summoning flies aren't interesting. However, one section gets your attention. You study it carefully. You now know the spell Dispel Barrier. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that does not teach it at level 3. No, I'm still at level 2 with that. Still, that is how you get Dispel Barrier without dealing with any of the sliths, if you are so inclined. is a particularly windy part of the underworld, so we got to go the long way around for some things. A fast, vicious-looking lizard, about 10 feet long, has been hunting you. It picked up your scent and has managed to catch up with you here. Oh, okay. Oh, 22. I was about to complain about doing 2 damage, but 22 is respectable. Yeah, gaze at Jay all you like. He's got the crystal shield. You can't do anything to him. Secret passage! No, I do not feel like fighting more spiders. Three drakes and some mutant lizards. Oh, this one might be fun. Okay, what all spells do I have? Divine Restoration is not needed yet. Divine Warrior. That could be interesting, actually. And let's actually do that Arcane Shield. Oh, I can only shield one person at a time. Crap. In that case, let's do some slowing. Haste level 3 does haste everyone. Wonderful. Mutant lizards have a lot of hit points. Nice cheap way to take out a few summons there. Don't have Arcane Blow yet. I need to fix that. Okay, Divine Warrior is pretty good stuff indeed. That was a fairly tough fight, and that's not all of them. But I can avoid the regular lizards, or potentially basilisks. Something cornered this unfortunate soul at the end of this passage behind... Something cornered this unfortunate soul at the end of this passage and blasted him or her into ashes. On the floor all around it are dollops of melted metal. A close look reveals one of the dollops is actually a crystal. Yeah, probably one of the drakes just took this person out. Oh hooray, an emerald. Can sell it and get more money for buying spells. This body has been nearly reduced to ashes. The fire which slew this hapless soul also charred the floor and ceiling nearby. Everything of value has been picked away by fastidious reptilian claws. That's a lot of bones. That's not at all ominous. I don't think I need to rest, actually, but I will take a save outside of the dark and bone-filled cave. Pit of the Drake. Pants and green tunic. Okay, you either were woefully underprepared or the Drake took everything valuable off your body. Hey there, Lota. Yes, I'm live streaming quite a bit earlier than I usually do. A few coins and also garbage equipment. You cross a crude stone footbridge over an icy, swiftly flowing stream. On the other side, you see a network of narrow, twisty passages. They are very dark. The glowing fungus which lights most of Avernum is completely absent here. The familiar smell of giant lizards is extremely strong here, almost overpowering. You hear the ragged hisses of the creatures echoing all throughout these passages. Okay, is there a reason that none of these bodies have decent armor or weapons? You would think this far into the wilds of Avernum, people wouldn't be just charging in their everyday clothes. Okay, the lizards here are of the mutant variety. In this corner of the cave are a series of crude burial mounds. Carved in the stone in front of each is an image of a drake. In front of the cemetery are several human bodies, left here for reasons unclear. Too many rats. Really, cave rats? Surely you can do better than that. Ooh, Jay takes no damage from fire. What is Jay's armor again? Drakeskin sandals might be giving him some fire resistance. That's the only thing I can think of here. Okay, there's at least 2 drakes there, and I can't see them, but they can see me. How annoying. I'm still slowed. That's not good. not drakes. You are hostile rogue mages. I probably could have realized that if I was reading the message log here instead of just relying on the visuals. Would you stop with the summoning? That one's definitely a drake. Finally. Well, the human mages are annoying, but it looks like they dropped some good loot. Also, regular sandals, iron daggers, and ropes. Okay. And yes, I do in fact want to be picking up lots of gold. Now, what human mages are doing in a Drake's Lair and attacking me? Good question. Are they Empire scouts that got horribly, horribly lost? Because we do know the Empire has some level of presence in these caves. Stinking drakes. You have summoned a bunch of zombies. Nothing but bones, skulls, and bodies in here. Yeah, my light is definitely not lasting as long in here. Hehe, I can cast Divine Warrior even out of combat. And now I need to cast some Divine Restoration because ow! Iron Longsword is pretty good loot to sell, and Lamp can be useful when everything is dark. Hello? You are trying to attack me. Great. You're kinda tough. But there's one of you and 4 of me, so you're dead. Again. A pike, a plate mail, an iron large shield, and a fine leather helmet. Gonna yoink all of those. Interesting, Magrat has no helmet at all. Esme has a regular leather. I know at some point I was downgrading Magrat's armor because she kept not having enough AP in combat. Carefully avoiding the center of this cave for now. I'm going to have to either rest or see if I have any energy potions soon. Haste, healing, balm of life, wand of bolts, hem. Okay, I cannot do alchemy mid-combat, which does make sense. It turns out this corner isn't actually secure. Esme, do you have any energy potion? but you do have a wand of acid. Drake does not take a lot of damage from acid. Let's not use the Wand of Koronos on a Drake. Just for funsies, I could use it on one of the Nephilim summons here. Doesn't seem too effective. Okay, do I really have the resources to go through here? It looks like I do. Hooray. And that's going too close to the center. I don't want to be there right now. I don't think there's any particular secret passages in this dungeon. I can't rest in this part of the outdoors, it's far too dangerous. Oh. Well, I suppose there are drakes and basilisks wandering around. What about this part of the outdoors? No. What about right next to a ruined and formerly demon-infested fort? Apparently that's just fine. Save the game. Then go into the very dangerous cave. Can I cast Beast Ceremony before the Drake notices me? There we go. That's a few drakes. One of them is the Chasm Drake, and oh boy, I have taken a lot of damage already. Okay, that's looking better. And the Chasm Drake is basically just going to be a big old pile of hit points. Okay, Wand of Bolts might actually be getting pretty useless for McGrat. Hey there, Zach. Yipe. Okay, Chasm Drake is a big pile of hit points and also damage reduction. Oof, that's some powerful cold breath. Do I use the Wand of Acid? Sometimes I like casting acid on things, but drakes seem to be pretty not vulnerable to it. What happens if I try Bind Foe? Chasm Drake resists paralysis. Fine, have more fire. I find it odd, after spending more time in the Exile verse, I have blessing spells, but not cursing spells. Yeah, that's how it always goes in these games. We hoard the wands and potions and scrolls, and then by the time we actually start trying to use them, they're worthless. Oh, I wasn't expecting a firebolt to kill him. Okay. One of your blows finds a chink in the massive creature's leathery armor. With a massive shudder, the mighty drake slumps to the ground. It rises up one more time, trying to cling to life, and then falls to the ground again. The Chasm Drake is dead. Yeah, the hoarding scrolls and then they are worthless problem is definitely a big thing in the remakes. Wands and scrolls are really useful for your first few levels, and then by mid-game, they're just not even worth using. Freedom Charm, I think that gives me immunity to... What does it give me immunity to? Energy Potion. I could have used that a little while ago. Okay, Freedom Charm. Protects you from being paralyzed or put to sleep by hostile monsters. Okay. Probably just gonna sell that one. It's not as useful in Avernum. think there's anything that I haven't found here, but I want to check anyway. No. Okay, autodidactic PhD. Great name, by the way. I'm reading your comment, and that's interesting. You can't use things unless you've got backup supplies. I mostly don't do the same thing in real life, except then I start thinking about art and craft supplies, and yeah, maybe a little. It's not so much I need to make sure that I don't use it all up, as if I use it, it has to be worthwhile. The old too good to use problem. And I think the closest identification's in Blosk. Leith and Blosk is a pretty good one-stop shop anyway. Because he can identify your stuff and buy it from you. Another crystal shield. Nice. Iron plate mail, okay. We've got steel plate mail, the strongest and heaviest and most expensive armor available. It is chainmail, but set with many additional thick plates of metal, which extend down the arms and legs. Great protection, but also very bulky and encumbering. Given that, I'm probably going to stick with chain or other good armors. And the spear is Smite. It doesn't specify, but this should do extra damage to giants. Also, 2 to 26 plus 4... The halberd does a lot more damage in general. Oh, absolutely. I do that with sketchbooks. If I buy a one that's too fancy, I have to fill it with good drawings, and no drawing is good when you're first starting it. So I have one that's sort of deliberately scuffed up a bit by just leaving it in a backpack, and I can fill that one with trash. Also, it has a possum sticker on it. Ooh, I can sell steel plate mail for a lot. Steel short sword. I should probably sell a few more of my excess jewelry. Since Jay is not wearing particularly magical armor, maybe I'll have him wear the plate mail for a while. Large shield cancel you. If I equip half my party with crystal shields, then I don't really need the crystal charm anymore. Sure, let's go with that. And definitely do not sell the Orb of Thralny. You might be able to buy it back in this game, but yeah, seriously, do not sell. Yeah, I don't mind the extra mechanic of making sure you have enough ammo, but considering it as an extra slot to program into program into your PCs like this, I can kind of see why he decided to abandon that. And ultimately, I like the convenience of not minding ammo stocks and weight more than I like the verisimilitude of actually having ammunition for your bows. And I did not mean to hit that button. So, 3,000 gold, somewhat better. Yeah, if you sell the orb before you do certain things, you might not be able to finish the game. Okay, can't buy better spells here. Can I buy more spells from you? We can tell you that the Valorum Bestiary is not in the Tower of Magi. Oh dear, well, I suppose I should pay for that information. Not the most impressive reward. Actually, I think I was misremembering. I think it was in Patrick's Tower. It's to the south, so it'll be easy to reach it. There is a catalogue for his library. Read it and see if the bestiary is there. Can't learn better spells here either. But before I head south, Sabrina should have a little more dialogue for me. I don't remember if you can sell the Orb of Thralny in the original Exiles. I never tried. Now I kind of want to. No, not Leith. What am I doing? Okay. What else is a wandering warrior supposed to do when employment is absent? I can only worship so many hours of the day, you know. When I don't serve the faith, I'm human like you. Why don't you join us? We're adventurers. She looks you over unimpressed. All right, I could use a band of fellow fighters, but I suspect my skill far exceeds yours. No offense. I'll tell you what. You kill the Gap Drake in the pit west of Fort Remote, and I'll join you. We've slain it, but we don't need another member for our group right now. So yeah, you can recruit Sabrina if you kill the Gap Drake west of Fort Remote. By which time, do you really need another priest? Should you ever need a priestess of the highest skill, remember me. I never really did much with Sabrina or the final recruitable character in this game, so... I've stumbled onto a band of gremlins. They're 4 feet tall, brightly colored, muscular, and by any measure you can think of, insane. The creatures charge at you, claws bared, laughing maniacally. Oh no! And Geetha is covered in acid and charmed. Oh dear. Oh, how dare you. That's not Patrick's tower. That's dead end. Sabrina, the drunken adult witch. I'm down for it. You check to see if there's a copy of the Valorum Bestiary here. Alas, there is not. That's right, I'm in Patrick's tower. I have grey mold. Elixir. Grey mold salve. I do have the recipe. Potion successful. I don't think I've dealt with your wife yet. We have returned with grey mold salve. Excellent. I wouldn't have thought you could do it. Take it to my wife. She is in our chambers in the northwestern tower. And there is a very sick woman here, slumped into a well-padded chair. She is half-conscious and mumbles incoherently. Her skin is pale, even by Avernite standards. She's terribly ill. You doubt she will be alive much longer without help. And she's in a chair instead of in bed because, this engine can't really animate characters in bed. You shake her gently and then less gently. She doesn't respond. You rub some of the curing salve on her face and her arms. You feed her a little of the rest. Then you wait. Soon, color returns to her cheeks, her mumbling stops, and her eyes open. She looks up at you, surprised. You have cured me. I thank you, strangers. I am Hathwyza. You introduce yourselves. You should tell my husband Patrick that I am well. He will reward you, I'm sure. I am well, thanks to you. Both I and Patrick owe you a great debt for your help. Anything else I can do for you? I'm afraid not. I just need to rest and recover. You leave her in peace. Yay! We have cured your wife of her disease! Patrick grins. Yes, I know. I magically know everything that happens in my tower. And I am immensely grateful to you. In return, I will tell you something which I, somehow, sense you will need to know. There is a ruined, lava-filled fortress far to the east of here. Important things lie within. Go search my desk, and you will find your way to a bookshelf. There is a purple journal there. There is a phrase inside its back cover. You can use that phrase in the castle to get a gold key. Look in the cells. It will be very useful to you someday. Didn't Erica tell me that you might know some parts of the password? That's probably the chain. Aha. Is there a particular thing you seek? I want to know the password. The password to the surface. Yes, for what it is worth. A sage banished down here did tell me part of it. The third part of the password is Eng. I hope that helps you. Cool beans. I believe that is... Well, no, that's not everything I need from Patrick's Tower because I still have to do this thing. The desk contains the standard stationery, pens, etc. You search more carefully and find a button underneath one of the shelves. When you press the button, one of the bookshelves swings out of the way, revealing the wall behind. And magic barrier. And basilisk. There are several dusty books in this small bookshelf. However, you can't make any sense out of their contents. They're mainly obscure notes from obscure experiments. Nothing which could help you. Then, remembering what Patrick told you, you search for the purple notebook. When you find it, you look inside the back cover. You find the phrase, "The fort beckons anew." You take note of it. Excellent. And Patrick's lock is easily picked for some reason. And that is everything I need from Patrick's Tower. No, don't go back in, come on. Sometimes this game engine is silly. Do you have anything worth buying? No, you really don't. Okay, that's Dilbert. So Mona here is a potentially interesting person. Wants to be let out of prison and wants her scimitar back. And given that she mentions a scimitar specifically, we can tell her the code phrase Icarus. She suddenly looks very embarrassed. Oh, I'm sorry, you're one of us. Look, don't worry about helping me escape. Alright, I won't help, but how are you going to escape? They're taking me to Darman. I'll get set loose there. It was stupid of me to get captured anyway. I was dealing with the bandits to the north, trying to convince them that they should be working for us. I told them that it was in all the underworld's interest to stick it to the Empire. She sighs. Didn't work. Bandits are fools. And now, thanks to me, they are dead. Do you know much about the bandits around here? There are plenty of them, and they have many powerful mages and priests among them. We suspect that the spellcasters are actually Empire plants. There weren't any mages with the group I contacted. They weren't Empire spies. They were just dumb. Anyway, after I left, some soldiers picked me up, and now I'm here. I feel so dumb. But if you notice, we can ask her to come with us. She thinks, that would be interesting. I've heard you're the next big thing in the scimitar, and you won't find a faster blade than me. She does something to the other side of the door, and it swings open. I'll join you. And if we had an extra space in the party, she could. But Mona is the 4th recruitable character. You do need to join the scimitar before she'll talk to you and join you. And again, I don't really remember what, if anything, is good in her stats. Given that the other 3 recruitable characters are a good fighter thief, and a good priest, I suspect she's got some magical skill. these dungeons. Yeah, you're done. And you look done. What the heck, I'll fight some bandits. Now I can go all the way through Fort Spire, or I can just orb my way around it. Teehee. Now I believe that I've talked to the guy in Kotra Asp who tells me how to get into Steal the Circlet here. So instead of entering town the usual way, I find a secret passage here. And no, these fellows are not happy to see me. Pick up more bolts. Jay is not the one who uses bolts, that's Githa. Ooh, iron chainmail sells for a bunch. And don't mind if I do a little looting here. There's 2 doors. One of them can be picked. Can I unlock you magically? No. So how do I get in that corner? The answer to how I get into that corner is through here, through the blacksmith shop. A greasy man with stained clothes loafs behind the counter. He gives you a nasty look. I'm probably not supposed to know about this place. What are you selling? I supply goods, of all sorts. You look to be voles, but your money is as good as any, so you can buy something if you want. But if you plan some thievery, watch it. What's there to steal around here? His mouth twists evilly. Yes, well, there are things you might want to steal, but I'm not the one to ask. If you meet a man named Scab, ask him about the circlet. There are some people here who'd like to see that thing disappear. Oh. You deal in odd goods. Can you identify my items? Apparently he can. If I had anything that was not identified already. You sell lockpicks, torch lamp, first aid. Pretty good crystals. Ring of skill. You sell frickin' grey mold. Okay. Entwistle, like most people of the Abyss, doesn't trust outsiders. He'll sell you goods, but he'll charge quite a price for them. And I can sell him some things in return. Oh, if his prices are utterly ridiculous, maybe I can get better prices selling elsewhere? Anyway, back to the aforementioned thievery. And now we find ourselves in Mina's bedroom. There's a guardian in here. I was about to ask, is the floor attacking me? There's a couple of guardians in here. How tough are these things? Yeah, I can't target them because they're invisible. What do you mean there's 3 of you? Okay, this is pretty well defended. There is a small steel box firmly bolted to the floor. It has a small padlock, and every available surface is engraved with small runes. Open the incredibly dangerous-looking box. You use the tiny key and unlock the box. Inside, sitting on a small pillow, is a delicate, finely wrought silver circlet. You start to get nervous. The runes on the box are probably some sort of magical trap. Take the valuable and dangerously trapped silver circlet. You say the word Ankh. Nothing happens. You pick up the circlet, expecting to be baked at any moment. Bad things fail to happen. You now at last have the silver circlet. Ho-ho. Phew! And we all gain experience. This is a silver circlet designed to be worn on the head. It's simple and unadorned. You can't see anything special about it. Well, it must have some kind of massive value or power to it. Oh, I still have to go and get the tip of Demon Slayer at some point. And I have the 3rd and 4th part of the password. Still need to find parts 1 and 2 somewhere. Oh, and I did look up who can do something with the Spider Queen fangs. I think it's Philia, the reclusive alchemist in Fort Draco. Not sure when or if I'll get back in those parts, but we shall see. And now let us leave the town of Spire, never to return. And also, while I am here, I think I can do something about these ghosts that have been haunting the trainer in Barga. You find the ghosts Etheridge told you about. There's quite a variety of them. Nephilim, Sliths, humans. All of the spirits display grievous wounds, and all of them look very angry. They look more annoyed than anything else when you get close to them. You aren't the person they want to fight. Still, they won't shy away from killing you if you continue to pester them. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Instead of Divine Fire, how about some Repel Spirit level 3? That could have been a little more effective. The power of flame and sword, be gone! The ghosts are gone, sent back to whatever dark place spawned them. Etheridge is free of them. You don't doubt that she'll be appreciative. That's right, I have to talk to Bella and open the gate. We killed the shades which have been tormenting you. I am not surprised. The terror has been lifted from me. I have felt much more free. She pulls a ring from her finger and hands it to you. This is the source of much of my strength. I will miss it greatly, but honor commands that I give it to you. Thank you for your great aid to me. We killed the shades. Why are you still here? Because it is not in my nature to walk away from a fight. The giants challenged us. Until they are defeated, I stay here. Now back into the giant lands. So I can go into the giant castle, or I can go poke at the dragon. I can also just poke at this group of giants right here. Giant takes 18 damage from magic, so Smite does indeed do extra damage to giants. Though given the base damage differences, I'm not entirely sure if it's worth it. No, that's pretty good. Adding a target, not deleting one. Fighting giants could be profitable. And they drop haste potions. The passage here is blocked by a huge wall, extending almost a mile east to west, floor to ceiling. It has 2 huge gates in it, closed and bearing giant padlocks. The padlocks are much more powerful than their crude appearance would have you think. You try picking, then magic, then brute force, but nothing gets them open. You don't know where you could find the key, but the huge giant castle to the west might be a good bet. Well, the dragon's going to be the tougher fight, but it's only going to be one fight instead of many. And can't do anything there. So, giant castle. Has some closed gates here. Open gates right at the front. You're at the opening between the entry chamber and the courtyard. There is a curious lack of giants at the guard posts. It's quiet out here. Too quiet. The floor suddenly opens up under you, dropping you into the depths. You soon land on a pile of rotting fungus below. You aren't hurt by the fall, but you're trapped deep inside the giant's fortress. Oh. Ow. And now we're stuck in a cell. Maybe not all that stuck. Still stuck in the basement, however. Strange, you hear human voices coming from nearby. You look around, but you can't see where they're coming from. Oh, skull piles. Delightful. And we got ogres. Smite does not do extra damage to ogres, but then it kinda doesn't need to. Oh, maybe Smite does do damage to ogres. Somewhere in here. Aha! Hi there, fellas. Talking to Zed. There's a young, bearded man. His once solid figure is slowly wasting away. Who are you? I'm a prisoner of the giants, dreaming of escape, of returning home. I'm from the Abyss. It is my home, and I look at it with pride. I don't expect a vole like you to understand it. What did you just call me? Oh, a vole. That's what we of the Abyss call your kind. No offense. So you're from the Abyss. That's a grim name for a place. I guess I technically can come here without going through the Abyss. Yes, you call it the Abyss. We see it differently. We all live in the Abyss. But our cavern is the ladder that we will all one day climb to escape. You're talking about escaping from Avernum, right? A worthy goal. How can we be a part of that? Perhaps you might help. We are protected from the giants by Barga, the fort we built with our outlaw hands. Go there and ask of the scimitar. I would be helping them now, but the giants are in the way. The scimitar. Very interesting. You take note of the name. We already belong to the scimitar. Good for you. Luck to you, in our continued struggle against the tyranny of the Empire. So what do you know about the giants, being captured by them at all? Curse them. They take no allies, shrink from no treachery. They deal with Pyrog only. We are just food to them. And who's Pyrog? Yes, the humans don't know of Pyrog. Only Fass and I do. We overheard them talk of him. He's a dragon. What does a dragon want with giants? They are his servants. They follow his orders and bring him tribute. He is the only being they respect. He lives to the east, and a mighty, horrible creature he must be. Why are you hiding here instead of escaping? Talk to Hrethra about that. He's a Nephar, true, but he knows much about how to escape from this place. I am weak, and follow his lead. We've not yet managed to escape ourselves. You're working with the Nephar? That's unusual. Aren't they our enemies? As a people, they are. As individuals, they can be as brave and kind as us. At least, Hrethra is. We are working together so that we both can live. Also, you referred to a Hafas earlier. Maybe that's a bit of confusion or a name change for the Nepharim character here. You see a thin, scraggly Nephilim holding a crude club. It watches you warily. Normally, I would be your foe, but here, we all work against the common enemy. As he says enemy, he lets out a slight hiss. The giants take no allies. They want no friends, feline, lizard, or human. They captured me when I was on the hunt. Vapor rats. It is not important. The human there and I slipped away from a cell with the help of the third, and wait here for the chance to depart. Where's the third member of your group? The Slith. The three of us worked together. The Slith female was a mage, who melted away the passage to the cells. She died in an ambush as we explored. The giants look for us still. We hope to depart before they catch us. Alternately, Hafas could be the name of the Slith. What do you think of the human? He is called Zed. Worth respecting. Who would have guessed? I have made it as far as the gate, with stealth and skill, but the gate is locked, and we cannot find the key. Without the key, there is no hope of getting out. I hope that one day I can return to my mate, but I despair. A beautiful, soft-furred tan. You could never in a million years appreciate her beauty. She waits for me in the fort still, I am sure. Nephilim mate for life. What fort is your mate in? A few of us Nepharim have chosen to live together, with our own kind, near your city of Kotra. We guard ourselves, and the crypt. The tomb of a Nephar hero of old, who helped win the first victory against you humans. In the crypt is a piece of the great blade of a human hero. It is a beautiful sight. I hope to see it again before the giants eat me. Blade of a human hero? Yes, he is buried there with the hilt of a beautiful sword. He is a human, and humans are our foes, but we also respect the dead. Though he is a dead foe, we do not disrupt his grave. Yeah, about that, I might have gone in and disrupted that grave for you? Yeah, out of the way, Zed. Also, hi, Asharth. This was part of my childhood too, although late childhood. And this cell is basically empty. I played the first versions of these games, the Exile series, in my earlier childhood. Smite does not do extra damage to cave slimes. Hello. I do like that I only have to cast that spell once to clear out multiple barriers. Magic barriers, a locked door, and runes. Well-defended corner. I love that I have a 136% chance of disarming the trap. More vengeful shades. Honestly, should I give Magrat level 1 mage skill just so she has access to the Bolt of Fire spell thing? Ooh, many coins. And a spear. Ow, a zappy floor. A bolt of cloth. Okay, that seems not entirely worth protecting with many locks and a zappy floor. Yaha! This tiny cave is filled with a thick, eye-watering miasma of sulfurous gases. The walls have claw marks on them. And also there's a demon. No more demon. There's a large tome on this podium, bound in greenish-red lizard hide. It is filled with writing, the words written on the page in tight, perfectly straight lines. The book is a tome on demons. It describes their summoning, controlling, and commanding. It is clearly a dangerous, dangerous book to study from. In the bestiary, you find there are 3 classes of demon kind. The imps, who are servants and foot soldiers, the full demons, who are captains and thinkers, and the dreaded Hakai, who command them all. One page is specially marked. It tells of a demon lord, Greyhoth, and his chief lieutenant, the gigantic Hakai Adzi. The first name has Basalt Fort written by it. The second name has Mage's Tower. You aren't sure who put this book here. You can't imagine the giants being able to understand it. Yeah, I was thinking as soon as it mentioned writing in neat, tight, very neat lines, that doesn't sound like a giant thing. So who has been working on studying and summoning demons in the giant's basement, of all places? Probably not the ogres, unless there's an ogre mage around here somewhere. It's bacon strips! And that's a building. Good point, Yama. It's not giants unless it's in all caps and every word is misspelled. Signed, The Giants. Arg. And no longer covered in acid. I think I made an okay choice in coming here before dealing with the dragon. Granted, I've mostly been dealing with ogres rather than the giants themselves thus far. I've been picking up too many big swords. And, this looks distressingly like a pantry for giants, full of, smaller humanoids. Oh, one of you's shaman. $15 damage. What the heck? That's better. Giants drop many coins. And some herbs. Cloak and white tunics. Surprisingly fancy clothing for giants. Oh, I'm very glad I decided to search all the dressers. Yeah, see, the furs are what I would expect the giants to be wearing, more so than pants and tunics. This cavern is filled with shackles, cages, and hideous torture devices of all sorts. Some of them are giant-sized, but most aren't. Wow, that tongs, pincers, needle, and whip. Kinky. Clothing from their food sources. And little watering trough. More tunics, cloaks, and stuff. And healing potions. Now this looks like an important person's bedroom. So I'm less surprised that they have some cloth goods. This box contains some huge smelly pelts, apparently giant formal wear. There is also a large key, roughly formed from tin. Here we go. Yes, this is the recruitable J from... Crap, there's... Yeah, Jay, I think you can find in Silvar, like, way at the beginning of the game, and all he really wants from you is, like, 200 gold. He comes with barter and find herb skills, and later on I gave him Blade Master and Resistance. The Resistance is probably what's helping him resist some of the cold and fire damage that's been coming up. Githa is basically a renamed and reskinned Andrew, who is also recruitable, but I wanted to use him because his tool use stat is ridiculously high, as well as melee pole weapons and bows. Okay. Also, I was about to ask where the heck the stairs are when I looked at my map and said, oh, they're right here. And also over here. Tiny little goblins. And lizards smart enough to open the door to their pen. Oh, hi, I believe I found the Giant's dining hall. What up, losers? I'm gonna have to do some training between episodes again. Hey there, sweetie. I am doing some live stream. Husband just got back home from work. And I can say that he is welcome to jump in with some commentary of his own if he wants to, but on this particular game, I don't think he would have much to say.
I'm good. Enjoy it.
Ooh, much good loot in here. They've somehow gotten their hands on fine wines from Almeria. You are greeted with the grisly sight of the Giant's Dark Temple, which doubles as the Giant Chief's trophy room. Basilisk heads, lizard skins, Nephilim pelts, and far more unpleasant items line the walls. Probably a few human skulls, too. Oh, you stop that. Ow. So much for enfeebling Githa. Ooh, Yubo. More herbs. I can do so much alchemy if I want to. Nothing interesting on the shelves. Giant kitchen. giant kitchen. Don't ask what's in the stew. Tunic, pants. Papyrus sheet. Interesting. Starting to wonder if this is a human installation that the giants took over somehow, but then how would the giants fit? Yeah, that's a human-looking wizard with the giants. You strike down the massive chief of the giant clan. He wore a large tin key on a chain around his neck. You take it. Now I have two. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember if the wizard gets any exposition or explanation in the remake, but yeah, apparently there's just a human wizard hanging out with the giants for some reason, and we never discover why. Does perhaps explain some of the human-sized furniture and items. Ooh, a mind crystal. The runes aren't active. Historical scroll. Maybe that wizard is the one who was doing the demonology downstairs. This castle is hiding some things from me. Wand device is pretty much only good for selling. Might have to start dropping some greatswords here. And this empty spot on the map seems like it will be more accessible from here. I'm correct. Sacks of ore. More coins, more silver, and more Almeria yellow. Is there not a way in there? Is that just a blank void in the map? Yeah, apparently it's just a blank void in the map. Many chests. Iron halberd. Some iron bars. I want to say in the original these boxes were just full of rocks for throwing. Why are there so many giant shamans, and why do they look identical to the regular giants? Yeah, some of these wizards really do have a fair bit of damage reduction on them. Especially elemental resistances. Githa, Smite works better if you actually hit the giants with it. So yeah, the giants have a bunch of clothing, and we're just not going to think too hard about whether that fits humans or giants, or somehow is magically enchanted to fit whoever wants to wear it. As are so many things in these adventure games. Why are you inside the pen, sir? Cavewood wheel here, which opens the side gate, which means I can get out of here without falling into the trapdoor. Another message here. The chain is rusted, though, and the mechanism is broken. The giants must not have gotten around to repairing it. Hey there, Joseph. Ooh, clothing that, shifts into a suit or dress depending on who wears it. Fascinating. Okay, good. No one in here is trying to zap me with magic powers. So much loot. After this dungeon, I might have enough to go buy more spells from Erica. Aha! There are several neat piles of nicely rounded boulders here, patiently waiting to be thrown at someone much like you. Who was that? I think there might be a giant blacksmith nearby. Also, the giants have a lot of cloth in their fort here. Perhaps they have a cottage industry of making their own clothing. But along with a smithy is a giant blacksmith. He's not very strong. Well, compared to other giants. So if I'd gone up the other stairs, I could have come straight into the smithy. In this huge box, you find a variety of finely crafted spears, spiked maces, and war clubs. Unfortunately, they are all several times too large for you to use. Unlike most everything else we found here. Like a crossbow. Ooh, steel-studded armor. Blessed arrows. And another fine leather helmet. I am done with this place, which is very good because I am very much full of inventory. Oh, that's a fire lizard, what? So yeah. As you can see, very much full of inventory. Need to go and get some things sold off. And, definitely do not try and exit through the main doors, because that will just leave you falling back into the basement. Although this does give me a chance to talk to the other prisoners. We've opened the gate. Then I will depart. Many thanks to you, human. Perhaps not all of your kind are our enemies. The Nephar slips out of the hidden cavern. Just never mind all of your fellow Nephar that I've killed over the past few months. We've opened the gate leading from here. You are free to leave. He nods in gratitude. Thank you. You've saved our lives. I depart now, to my poor but beloved home. I shall spread the word of your courage. He slips away. Alas, we will never see him again. But our reputation increased. I am now beloved by the people of Exile. Don't think it matters that much which direction I go. So yeah. Best... Oh, I do need to turn the wheel again because the gate's closed again. Silly map reloading. Oh, also I didn't actually notice in time to read it, but there was a message about, fortunately your key unlocks the chain on the wheel. Goodbye, giants. Now I will return to Barga to deal with my excess of inventory and skill points. But I would rather do that off camera, so it's been about 2 hours. Gonna end the stream here, and thanks to everyone who tuned in. It's been great talking with y'all. Have a good night, everybody.